In poker, nothing compares to the adrenaline of playing for a pot so big it could change everything. The pressure is enormous, and every move feels like it could make or break your fortune. But only a handful of hands have reached the kind of jaw-dropping stakes we're about to explore. Today, we're diving into the biggest cash game pots ever televised. Tom Dwan versus Antonio Esfandiari, $697,000 pot. In August 2017, during Poker Go's Poker After Dark, Tom Dwan found himself in yet another massive hand. This time, the stakes were $200, $400 with a minimum buy-in of $100,000. And the hand that unfolded would lead to a pot just shy of $700,000. It began with Antonio Esfandiari, dealt pocket kings, raising up the action. On the button, Daniel Negreanu, holding pocket queens, decided to re-raise to $3,500. But in the big blind, Dwan picked up the bullets, pocket aces, and made a cold 4-bet to $14,000. Esfandiari and his kings weren't ready to give up. He 5-bet to $41,000, clearly unaware of the trouble he was in. Kid Poker, caught in the middle, made the call, likely hoping for a favorable flop, but Dwan had other plans. With the best hand, he put the pressure on by announcing an all-in shove for his remaining $328,000. Now, Esfandiari was left facing an impossible decision. Folding kings felt out of the question, even though the hand screamed strength from Dwan. Eventually, after some contemplation, Esfandiari called. Daniel wisely let go of his queens, leaving Esfandiari and Dwan to run it twice. But neither run-out brought help for Esfandiari, and Dwan scooped up a massive $697,000 pot, adding another giant victory to his already legendary poker career. Hand 3. Patrik Antonius versus Erik Persson, $1.9 million pot. Next, we move to one of the most intense pots in recent memory. In 2023, Poker Go aired a hand that would become the biggest pot in US televised poker history. A showdown between Patrik Antonius and Erik Persson during a high-stakes cash game. It all started with Antonius sitting on a stack of about $970,000, being dealt Ace-King of Hearts. Erik Persson, holding Queen-9 of Hearts, kicked off the action with a raise. Antonius, recognizing the strength of his hand, re-raised to $30,000, and Persson, ever the aggressor, made the call. The flop came down 8-3-3-2 hearts, giving both players a flush draw. Antonius fired a bet of $40,000 into the pot, but Persson wasn't backing down. Instead of just calling, he raised the action to $140,000, attempting to push Antonius off the hand. But Antonius had different plans. He clicked it back to $250,000, showing he was ready to play for all the chips. Persson made the call, and the turn brought the ace of spades, giving Antonius top pair. Knowing he likely had the best hand, Antonius bet out $150,000, hoping to get even more value. But Persson, with nothing but a heart and a prayer, moved all in for over $600,000. Antonius made the quick call, and with that, the pot had ballooned to an eye-watering $1.9 million. The river brought no help to Persson as he was drawing dead with his bet, and Antonius walked away with the biggest pot ever seen on US television. A staggering $1.9 million. This hand was the perfect mix of aggression, guts, and pure skill, making it one for the history books. Hand 4. Patrik Antonius versus Victor Bloom, $1.3 million pot. When it comes to online poker, no rivalry stands out quite like Patrik Antonius versus Victor Isildur Bloom. In 2009, the two were locked in a heads-up cash game, playing Pot Limit Omaha, where the stakes were set at an incredible $500 $1,000. What followed would become the largest online poker pot ever recorded. The hand began with heavy betting before the flop, as both players were stacked deep. Antonius made a 5-bet holding Ace-King of Hearts, King of Spades, and 3 of Spades, a hand with strong pre-flop equity. The flop came down 5 of Clubs, 4 of Spades, 2 of Hearts, giving Antonius the nut straight, known as the wheel. At this point, both players wasted no time. They quickly moved all their chips into the middle, creating a staggering pot of $1.3 million. Antonius was ahead with his straight, while Bloom revealed 9, 8, 7, 6, holding an open-ended straight draw. The turn brought the 5 of Hearts, improving Antonius's hand by giving him a flush draw on top of his straight. The river was the 9 of clubs, missing Bloom's draw entirely. Antonius scooped the largest pot in online poker history, cementing this hand as one of the most memorable moments in the history of online high-stakes poker. Hand 5, Tom Dwan versus Wesley, $3.1 million pot. Next, we head over to Hustler Casino Live for a hand that took the poker world by storm. Tom Dwan versus Wesley, a clash that would go down in history as the biggest cash game pot ever broadcast on television. It all starts with a high-stakes pre-flop battle. Wesley, sitting with ace-king of diamonds, decides to make a massive 5-bet to $275,000. But Tom Dwan, known for his fearless style, isn't backing down. Dwan makes the call with pocket queens, creating a pot that already stands at over $500,000. And we haven't even seen a flop yet. The flop comes down 8-8-3 with 2 diamonds, a relatively safe board. Wesley, with the nut flush draw, fires out with a $125,000 continuation bet. But Dwan, calm as ever, makes the call. Now the pot is growing. We're sitting at over $800,000. The turn comes the 5 of hearts, changing nothing. Wesley isn't done yet. He bets another $350,000, putting the pressure on Dwan. It's a massive decision. But Dwan calls again, and now the pot has swelled to an unbelievable $1.5 million. Finally, the river, a 6 of clubs. Dwan checks, and Wesley, with just ace high, does the unthinkable.
All in.
There's the all-in.
He said all in?
He said all in.
He shoves all in for another $800,000. Over $3 million is now on the line, and the room falls silent. Dwan is deep in thought. With just pocket queens, he's up against a player who could easily be representing aces or even trips. But after a long tank, Dwan makes the call. And just like that, he wins the biggest pot ever televised, $3.1 million, with just queens against Wesley's bold bluff. And there you have it. 5 of the biggest, most unforgettable pots ever televised in poker history. These hands weren't just about the money. They showcased the skill, guts, and sometimes the pure luck that separates poker's elite from the rest. From daring bluffs to impossible hero calls, these moments will be etched into poker history forever. But with the way poker continues to evolve, you have to wonder, what's next? Will someone break these records? Or will these pots stand the test of time? Only one thing's for sure. Poker's biggest moments are far from over. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Aces Full Poker for more deep dives into the world of high-stakes poker. Stay tuned for the latest poker scandals, stories, and highlights, and catch our newest video on poker players breaking the law, where you'll be shocked by what some players did to get caught.